Hey y'all, Roger says hey too. Scarlett says hey. There we go. There she is. There's Miss Scarlett. Yes. She's a little sleepy this morning still. I don't know what. This is kind of unusual. Most mornings she's pretty hyper, but today she's doing alright. She's pretty chill this morning, so yeah. Yes. Oh, I know. He's a good girl. Oh. Alright, little equipment malfunction there. So I want to thank all of you guys for leaving comments on my football videos. There are hundreds of them, maybe thousands at this point. So I've been kind of scrolling through them and looking through them, and there are a lot of comments for me to watch things like the best goalie saves, different videos on the various players, strategy videos, all of that stuff. We're definitely going to get to that stuff and pretty soon. But since we are in the middle of the Euros right now, which I had no idea about when I first started, watching football stuff, I want to take advantage of that and make sure that I don't really get lost in this, because I am planning to live stream the final of the Euros on July 11th. We're going to be starting that stream at 7:30 UK time, which will be, I think, will be 1:30 my time, Central Time here in the US, or 2:30 Eastern Time. But that is the plan, and I really want to kind of like get more familiar with the teams and stuff before we get to that point, because I think I would enjoy the game a lot more if I kind of knew the journey that the teams took to the final. I'm also hoping that the final is going to be a little bit more interesting than England versus Scotland. Since it's going to be the best two teams in Europe, I'm assuming that the game will be a little bit more action-packed, that we'll actually have a goal scored at some point. So today's video, I am going to be taking a more in-depth look at the Euros. Now, a lot of you guys have explained in previous videos what the Euros are. Basically, they take place every 4 years. They're the best national teams in Europe. I understand the difference between like club teams and national teams. I mean, the US, we have national teams over here too for stuff. So Euros every 4 years, just kind of like the Olympics. And then it like staggers the years with the World Cup. So the World Cup is also every 4 years. So you'll have like the Euros, and then you'll wait a couple of years, have the World Cup, and a couple of years later you'll have the Euros again. So it's nice and staggered, so you guys always have something to look forward to every couple of years. The plan is I would like to watch highlights from all of the games that I am missing. I do not have time to sit down and watch full games right now, but like I said, I am going to do the finals, and what I would like to do is go back and watch a bunch of highlights from the games that have happened so far, so that I can follow their journey to the final. Now, the problem is that a lot of these highlights are put out by ESPN and UEFA, and I have already been screwed over by UEFA on my channel, so I can pretty much guarantee that they're going to block any of their footage that I try to put up as, a reaction. I might have to put that up on my Patreon, which I'm going to be launching here in a few days. So that might be the only way that I can do a reaction to that. I might try and upload it to YouTube and just see what happens, but I guarantee it's going to be blocked. Alright, so we're going to go ahead and watch this video. I'm just going to kind of get a good introduction, overview of the Euros, hopefully. It looks like it has some comedy put in there. He's got like 256,000 subscribers, so he looks like a pretty well-known football channel on YouTube. So let's go ahead and I'm going to learn about the Euros here, hopefully.
Hello there, fellow American. I see you might have heard about this Euro tournament going on this summer. And like most Americans, you're probably asking yourself, why should I give a Well, for starters, and I'm going to be honest here, you're going to need something to carry you from now until the Olympics. And that doesn't start till July 23rd. What else are you going to watch till then? You really going to watch baseball? The dog days of baseball? Or are you going to lie and convince yourself that the NBA playoffs are actually more interesting now that LeBron is out? A new team is going to win. I'm really pulling for the Utah Jazz. Yeah, it's slim pickings out here for sports. But guess what's running right now? And we'll go all the way to the start of the Olympics. Yep, the Euros, baby. What is the Euros? Remember all the main countries that you learned about in social studies? Yeah, you take all of them, and then you have them battle it out in a Naruto-style tournament arc. And there's one thing we Americans love. It's a good tournament arc. March Madness, the Super Bowl, the Bachelorette. All the drama, the high stakes, And that's what the Euros has, baby. It has all the drama, it has the high stakes, and national pride on the line. You think Knicks fans chanting Trae Young is balding was savage? When England plays Germany, the English fans chant, "Everyone who won the war, stand up." That is some next level insults that you just don't get in American sports. It's dope, son. And yeah, it's soccer. I know as a nation it's growing here, but still the majority of us
this animation
isn't quite warm to the sport yet. But hey, you probably didn't give a shit about F1 until Netflix made a TV show about it, and now a lot of us have grown to like it. So why not dip your toe into the most popular sport in the world? And 2021 is as good a time as ever to get into the beautiful game. But my fellow American, I don't know the difference from a Euro to a Euro. Which team/nation should you root for? And what the fuck is an offsides? Well, have no fear, because I was once where you were, and I've grown to love this game. And like Yoda did for Luke, I shall guide you through the weeds, cut through the give you a quick Spark Notes overview, and by the end of this video, I guarantee you will be primed and ready to watch the Euro 2021 tournament. What is it, 2020? I don't know. Just call it Euros. Yes, this is an American's guide to Euro 2021. All right, so first off, what is a Euro? Essentially, it's the World Cup tournament, but the only nations allowed to participate are the colonizers. I mean, Europe. These are the teams eligible. Yay! And these are the teams that made it. Aww. And these teams are the favorites to go far. Yeah. Now, statistically, if you're an American watching,
okay, wait a second.
These teams are the favorites to go far. Yeah.
Okay, England, France, Belgium, Italy, and Spain. I keep hearing Italy is considered like the best team in this tournament. I keep seeing them pop up a lot. I did look today and I saw that Belgium won. Okay, you guys are like in the middle of the final 16, which we would call the Sweet 16 over here. But I saw that England's in it, Italy's in it, Belgium's in it. I'm not sure about Spain and France, though. I can't remember where they are at the moment. So it looks like this list is pretty accurate.
Now, statistically, if you're an American watching this, chances are you might be white. And if that's the case, it makes choosing a team a little bit easier, because you got a shot of your old country playing in the tournament. And if that's the case for you, congratulations, man. I'm happy for you. And savor one of the few forms of white pride that hasn't been canceled in this country.
Oh my gosh. Okay, so my team would have to be England then, because I am my heritage goes back to England and Ireland. So since Ireland's out, I'm assuming they're out. That would leave England. So I would have to cheer for England if I went by my bloodlines, I guess, going back to England hundreds of years ago.
Yet. Enjoy it while it lasts. Well, let's say you're a white guy, but you're some mangled mutt. Like, just made up of a bunch of different European nations. Who do you choose then? Well, my pale friend, you have it the best. Here's what you do. You simply watch all the countries you're from. Enjoy it. But the key is that you don't announce who you're really rooting for. See who looks the strongest of all the countries you come from. And then you come out and you act like you've been supporting them the whole time. You get the best of all worlds, man. Let your DNA battle it out for your support. But let's say you don't got a country that made it into the final tournament. You are, for lack of a better term, a neutral. You don't have any connections to these countries. Who should you root for? Well, in my opinion, as a default, I say you root for England. I know. They are our weird cousin, but hey, at least they're cooler than Canada. And you gotta admit, there's a familiarity there. They invented English, we perfected it. I mean, for Christ's sakes, who pronounces aluminum like aluminium? Oh my god, you sound like an asshole. I'm just joking. It is a little weird though. But the main reason I think people should root for England is because if there's one thing that Americans love, it's a trashy train wreck.
You just had an abortion? Twins?
I apologize to everybody in England, but yeah, man, he is like hitting hard against, well, a lot of people here. But at least it's all on, good fun.
Double homicide.
And England always seems to be wrapped up in some type of controversy. Or controversy, as they like to say over there. But yeah, England weirdly loves to destroy their own players. I mean, tabloids, media circuses, personal lives, and dirty laundry, all out for the world to see. It's so messy. In the age of social media, it's only made it worse. So regardless, if they win, lose, or even draw, there will always be a juicy storyline or narrative to follow. And this time around, they also happen to have maybe the most talented team in the entire tournament. Yeah,
really?
They're that loaded. They have an embarrassment of talent, oozing from every single position. They are co-favorites to win the whole damn thing, and these expectations terrify the out of English fans. Because the second thing that you need to know about England is that they have a long and prestigious history of choking it at every major tournament.
I know how this feels because my college team over here does the same thing. They will usually make it pretty far in whatever tournament, league, whatever they're competing in, and then they'll choke at the last minute. It's horrible. Like, they can't ever quite get over that hump, it seems like. So England, I can sympathize with you on this one.
You think this is the first hyper-talented England team? Many a hyper-talented squad has come before, and all but one have failed. Yep, that's right. The country who invented the sport has only won one major tournament in its entire history. Couldn't be us, bro. And the last time they won anything was all the way back in 1966. And those decades and decades of failure have frankly broken the English people so badly that even though they have maybe the most talented team top to bottom in this tournament, they won't even allow themselves to even dream about winning. They know oh so well that
oh my
hope
gosh
is the sweetest poison. But here they are in the midst of yet another golden generation. And most of this team is returning.
I've learned what the "it's coming home" thing means, you know, because you guys invented the sport, and so the sport is coming home. I also saw the finals being played in Wembley Stadium, so it's coming home, right?
Learning from overachieving at the past World Cup, so expectations are actually quite high. Which means the anxiety levels in England are even higher. The pressure placed on this young team could crush them, or make them diamonds. Either result, they'll be entertaining to watch, and that's why I think neutrals should root for England. Win, lose, draw, you won't be bored. And they're already in a little bit of controversy even before the tournament has started. Have you heard about this? Their national team kneels before every single match, and some of their own fans boo them. And if you're an American, you're watching this, statistically, 50% of you right now might be horrified by this. But I also know that roughly the other 50% of Americans, this might make you feel right at home. Hey man, I'm taking a break from judging people in 2021, so do you, boo, enjoy life and leave me alone. Now let's say you're more like me, a child of immigrants, or you might be an immigrant yourself here. And in my opinion, I would say you should root for France. Why France? Seems kind of weird, not exactly what I would think of, you know, baguettes, ratatouille, and Well, we're moving from the country. I'm just talking about the soccer team here. And their national team is pretty much a team of immigrants or children of immigrants, and it prides itself as such. In fact, the soccer team has been a shining example of multiculturalism in France for decades. Yeah, it's actually kind of heartwarming. And if you really want to know why the French team is so multicultural, you really shouldn't look into it. It's very depressing. It's brutal. What France did is wrong and horrific. But it has resulted in a fantastic soccer team. Just have to be.
What in the world is going on? I feel like I'm getting to know the teams a little bit better and kind of like their perception of them. I hope this guy is accurate. I don't know. You guys over in Europe might have a very, very different perception of these teams than what he is stating here. So if that's true, let me know. I feel like, I don't know if he's just giving like an American view of this or if he is like genuinely expressing, you know, each team's perspective of themselves or whatever. Okay, I have no idea what he was talking about there, you know, about France. So you guys can enlighten me in the comments if you want to, or if we want to like keep politics and stuff out of this, that's fine too.
They're way better than everybody else. This is the
Wait a
soccer
second.
team.
So number of World Cup representatives by country of birth. Okay, so this is number of players. So France, okay, has a pretty loaded team up there. Then it looks like. I guess it would make sense that England's on the bottom, huh?
They're way better than everybody else. This is the result of something horrible. So, you know, honestly, probably the more accurate depiction of this team is a beautiful, beautiful rose that has grown out of a mass grave. But you can love the team separately from the country. And this team is very easy to love. They also happen to be defending world champions, so they have some of the most electric players in the world. Players you might actually recognize. Names like Mbappe. You know the dude. He's on the cover of FIFA. Him. Paul Pogba. Haircut guy, Karim Benzema, he's on Real Madrid. Yeah, these are all marquee names that seem pretty much all but destined to light up this tournament. France also features the most lovable man in all of soccer, maybe all of sports. Let me introduce to you N'Golo Kante. The best way to describe him is he is like a modern day folk hero for introverts. A Paul Bunyan, if you will, of being humble. A man that came from so little, that when he got invited to a birthday party by his teammate, he showed up with a box of chocolates. He then apologized because he had never been to a birthday party before, and he didn't know what to bring. He was 22 when this happened, playing in the lower division of French football, and he would turn into maybe the greatest defensive midfielder of this era. And Conte's style of play is relentlessly blue collar, tirelessly running, never complains, or wants the spotlight. And as a consequence, just quietly playing a major role in helping multiple teams win the Premier League, just won the Champions League final, and was a major reason why France won the last World Cup. And what did he do after he won that World Cup? He was so shy and timid that he didn't even have the courage to ask for a picture with the World Cup. A teammate just saw him off the side staring at the trophy and asked him if he wanted to take a picture. And he did it, he took it, look at this! Look at how adorable he is. He's all like, yeah. And this was him after he just won the Champions League final with Chelsea. There are just so many amazing, lovable, wholesome pictures of him. Just look how happy he is
like he's
just
15.
riding a bike with the homies.
This smile. I will protect this smile.
So if you want to root for the most wholesome man in sports, please, cheer on France this summer. They're the co-favorites with England to win the whole damn thing, and their pipeline of talent will probably make them the favorites at the next World Cup. Well, I mean, you know, second favorites only to the United States, baby! Christian Pulisic is the champion! USA all the way in Qatar, baby! Nah, I'm kidding. We still kind of suck. But that 2026 World Cup, though, got a lot of up-and-coming talent. You never know, but, you know, that's another video for another time. Okay, so you have chosen your team. Congratulations. What else do you need to know? First up, you should know that this will be the first European tournament that will feature VAR. VAR, or VAR, stands for Video Assisted Referee. Basically,
Okay, we just call it instant replay over here, but I have heard people in Europe refer to it as VAR before, so I understand. I know what this is now.
it's instant replay, or more closely, it's like a challenge in the NFL. Yeah, you heard that right. Soccer just got instant replay, and what you need to know about that is everyone who isn't American hates it. But as an American,
Really?
you'll be right at home.
We like it.
Don't know what the offside rule is? No problem. Every single time it comes into question, VAR will open up Photoshop and show you down to the millimeter which player is beyond the last defender. Now, purists will say that it ruins the flow of the game.
But what they won't admit is that it gets more calls right than it gets wrong, and it has really decreased the amount of diving. But nobody wants to talk about this.
Now, don't get me wrong, diving and the rolling on the round, you know, yeah, that's still there. I mean, come on.
So that guy was like trying to fake an injury, and somebody just kicks the ball to him, and so he was forced to get up again and start playing as if like nothing was wrong. That's hilarious. I think that's what happened there.
You know, yeah, that's still there. I mean, come on. Ronaldo's gonna be at the tournament, so you know what it is. But now with instant replay, you can no longer get away with like the insanely egregious ones. And it's annoying, but I mean, come on. If you watched LeBron James for any point over the past decade, you're used to this level of flopping by now. So next, let's move on to the rules that Americans tend to struggle with. Offsides. After VAR, no one really knows anymore. Handball. After VAR, no one really knows anymore. Penalties. After VAR, no one knows anymore. Yeah, I mean, honestly, you don't really need to concern yourself with studying up and learning all the rules. The broadcast will either explain or show some type of quadratic equation illustrating what's going on. Now, after the 4 teams have played each other, the top 3 teams with the most points move on. And once again, you don't really need to worry about like ties and goal differential, because the pregame coverage will have some guy who looks like Dr. Fauci explaining in excruciating detail all the scenarios and scores teams need to have in order to advance. And once the round robin play is done, teams are seeded and then slotted into a March Madness style bracket. From that point on, it's win or go home. They battle out single elimination matches until there's only one nation left standing, the champions of all of Europe. And that should carry you to the Olympics. We're gonna watch the USA dominate. So you Gucci, baby. You're welcome. But before I go, there is a little something else that starts up shortly after the Olympics. May I interest you in an,
You're a wizard, Harry.
an American's Guide to the Premier League? I'm just throwing it out there. But yeah, that is going to be my American's Guide to the Euro 2021 tournament.
Okay, well, that was not quite what I was expecting it to be. It was very, very heavy on the comedy and the insults and the offending other people. Way more swearing in there than I was expecting. I'm gonna have to like beep some of that out during editing, just because I like try to keep the language on my channel as clean as possible. But as joke-filled as that was, I actually did get a pretty good sense of who some of these teams are. So like I get England, like some of you guys in the comments have been like apologizing a lot for England's team. I get it now. I'm starting to kind of get some of your comments about England's team. So, and like I said, with my college team, it's like they're always like loaded with like really good players, and they're always like projected to do really well during the season, and then they end up like 5 or 6 in the league or something like that. It seems like they just waste their talent, and then when they like get to a semifinal game or something like that, they choke. And only once in like the last decade have they actually won anything. So I know England hasn't won anything since 1966, it said, so you guys probably have a little bit worse off than, you know, my college team does, but I totally can sympathize with that. So yeah, I guess I'm gonna have to root for England, you know, that's who I'm gonna have to root for. Unfortunately, maybe. I don't think I have any family heritage in like France or any of the other European. If I do, it's like minuscule. My heritage is pretty much 50% English, 50% Irish as far as I can tell. So yeah, I guess I'm rooting for England in the Euros. I have my little English flag right here. But I also got introduced to like France's team and kind of what their makeup is. I don't know what the whole history portion of it that he kept like hammering in this video is about. Like I said, that's secondary to all of his stuff. Is good to know just kind of like a little bit more about France's team and their player Conte, who is like one of the favorites, it seems like, in the world of football. So there's a player I'm gonna have to check out, I guess. And just kind of like seeing who the favorites are: Italy, France, England, Spain, and Belgium is what that list said. So yeah, so this gives me a little bit better context for going forward and like expectations and all of that. So yeah, kind of a quirky video, maybe a bit offensive to a lot of you Europeans, and I apologize if you are. Like, I didn't know that he was going to go into all of that type of stuff with this video, but so anyway, we're gonna wrap it up there. I'm going to be looking more into the actual play in the Euros going forward here, now that I know a little bit more about it, and hopefully like watching some of the game or the match highlights, sorry, I can start to kind of get to know who some of the players are and kind of, you know, what the teams are like and stuff. So if you guys enjoyed this video, make sure to like and subscribe if you haven't done that yet, and also be sure to check out my social media and my Discord links. They're in the description of this video and in my pinned comment. Hope you guys stay tuned for a lot more football content coming up. There's just so much to do. I'm still just like in the very beginning stages of getting to know the sport, so there's a lot left for me to learn, and I do appreciate all of your comments and my videos. It does help. Roger here, and I thank you guys for watching, and we will see you next time.